Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews. It's your boy Sam. Now, if you don't follow us on socials, well, first of all, you should. We're great. That's where you get all our current goings-ons and whatnots, right? I'll throw it up here. Though I don't think I have a little sticker for TikTok, but it's going to be basically the same name across all platforms. Anyway, if you had followed us on Instagram or TikTok, then you will have known that we actually saw this movie days ago. Days ago. But I also posted a video saying I was not ready to talk about it because I was positive there was something wrong with that screening. The screen itself was like blurry, almost like it was supposed to be in 3D, but we didn't have the glasses. The colors were so faded. And then the aspect ratio of the actual film itself was just off. It was throwing me so much. I couldn't even enjoy the visual effects. And because I couldn't enjoy those visual effects, I had to pay attention to the story and the pacing and the characters. And those are definitely not the movie's strengths. I feel like the directors themselves would tell you that. So I decided to give it a rewatch, and thank goodness I did. I saw it in IMAX earlier. Now I'm going to say you don't need to see it in IMAX. Save yourself the $27 and just see it regular. But what a difference a good screen makes. This was a major course correction from the first movie. I was ready to give this like a 1.5 or a 2 after that screening. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a solid 3, but it's a good 3. This is actually a decent movie. Oh, Mortal Kombat 2 kind of follows the story of the game Mortal Kombat 2, which is refreshing because the first movie definitely did not follow the story of Mortal Kombat 1. Let me get this out the way. The biggest course correction, this guy, Cole, the one that nobody knew from the first movie, he's barely a character in this movie. I think he was in 80, 90% of the first film. He might have 4 minutes in this movie, which, I actually welcome. Now, instead, our main character is actually Katana. I guess it'd be Katana and Johnny Cage. I guess they share like equal billing. But Katana, we start with her. We actually see Shao Kahn, the big bad. We see him at the very beginning. It's the first scene where he's doing the Mortal Kombat tournament with Adenia, her world, where he kills Jared, also known as Ermac later, for those who know, and takes Katana's mother, Sindel, as his queen, adopts Katana as his daughter, and basically rules Edenia, now that it is merged with his outworld. Now, he's want to expand his outworld further, and which brings us to Earthrealm. The tournament is now starting. So this movie picks up like right where the first one ended, which is kind of a good and a bad thing. Good because we get right into the tournament. Like the movie doesn't waste any time. It's sub 2 hours and there's just so much action in here. But at the same time, it's kind of like, those Fast and Furious movies I hate where there's like almost no character development. So any kind of character development we got in the first for, Sonya, Jax, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Raiden, all of them, that's as much as you're going to get. There is nothing added here. For the new characters, we do get some development. Katana, Jade, Shao Kahn, who's my favorite, and Johnny Cage. So they do actually add some depth to them, and there are characters who actually have some sort of an arc in this movie. But, as much as I liked a lot of aspects, let's talk about what I didn't like first and get that out the way. So yes, like I said, the script and the characters, that is not this movie's strength at all. I don't care about Sonya and Jax and Kung Lao and Liu Kang like I feel like I should. Liu Kang is, he's the main character of the series. And I don't know anything about him except what they told us in the first movie when he was introduced halfway through it. Jax and Sonya are partners. We know that because they constantly say, that's my partner. So, yeah, that's it. That's as deep as that goes. In Raiden, he is literally like a god on Earth. And this is just a nitpick of me. I feel like the actor, I think, did what he could have done with the script, but I feel like they should have given him, just a little bit more aura, just a little bit more. But I've already complained a month about them. You're not going to get anything new about them, so that's a bit of a disappointment because if one of them gets their head chopped off, you're really not going to care. Johnny Cage and Katana, they do try. I think they do a good job with Katana, like a very good job. Johnny Cage, he goes through a Zack Snyder special in this, y'all. Like, the dude, when they first come recruit him, he's like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a fighting tournament? I could be murdered. I'm not doing this. And by the end of the movie, he's like, Yeah, I'll go to NetherRealm for you. NetherRealm, if you don't know, is hell. So he goes from not wanting to do this to wanting to go to willing to go to hell like that. And you're just like, where did this come from? Where did you get the wherewithal to do this? The movie just kind of expects you to assume a lot of things in order to get you to a finish line and get you to a point with these characters. Which doesn't always work because, again, when you're seeing these characters get sad at something like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's hurt, or oh my gosh, he's my friend, we have this bond. You're like, do you? I don't know that. I don't believe that. So outside of the non-character development, the story is pretty predictable, even if you haven't seen the game. It's very bland and very basic. And some of the visual effects, well, for the most part, they work. I know movies aren't filmed in order, but they go to NetherRealm towards the end of the film, and everything in NetherRealm looks like trash, yo. Like, I'm like, yo, was this rendered on a PS3? Even during the rewatch, I was like, this does not look good because they're fighting. Well, I'm not gonna say who it is because I don't think they're in the trailers, and they might be a spoiler. But anyway, Johnny Cage is there, like I mentioned, and he's fighting a character, and the blood splatter looks fake. The actual character models at some point, they look like, have you ever seen the CW shows? Like, they look like computer generated models of people. So when someone gets sliced in half, you're like literally looking at like a computer image, yo. I'm like, there's no way they watched this and thought this was good enough. Or maybe they just ran out of money at that point. Who knows? What was the best part of the first movie? It was Kano. He literally carried it. And when he came back immediately, this actor, yo, he brings it, man. He brings the charisma, the charm, the trash talk. But they doubled it up because as reticent as Johnny Cage was to do this, he talks a lot of trash too. So him and Kano just both give us the comedy in this movie for the most part, man. Just the way they act and the way they talk and the way they just don't really care about anything. It's really, really good. Shao Kahn was by far my favorite part of this movie. He was murking people all movie, yo. From his first fight really set the tone. I'm glad they did. It's just like the first movie. The first movie that started with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's how this fight was at the beginning. Like, it set the tone here, like, all right, I'm ready for this. And luckily, it didn't take a huge plummet downhill from there. Oh, and the actual tournament itself, like I said, I keep mentioning this movie's under 2 hours because I just, like, there's not a lot of time for them to waste with just bad dialogue and stupid story like they did in the first one, right? So the tournament just starts. Like, we are just thrown into the tournament like right after the end of the first one. So the first battles we see, I believe it's Sonya versus Sindel. At the same time, Johnny is fighting Katana. And their fights are so good. Like, Katana versus Johnny Cage is a really good, hand-to-hand close combat fight, and I enjoyed seeing that. But Sonya versus Sindel basically uses their powers, and I promise you, bro, it's just like when you fight Sindel or Sonya in the video game. They are spamming, yo. Sindel uses that little banshee scream, and I like the way the director and the choreographer used it here because they're fighting like on a level on a level. They're fighting in an area that has like spikes popping up out of the ground. So Sindel doesn't just blast Sonya with her scream. She, if a spike's about to come up, she'll blast in order to push her body back. Like, they use their powers creatively is what I'm getting at, and it was really, really cool. Now, additionally, I also really like how each fight is set up. Like, the camera will pan down, and then you'll see the characters on either side, and then you'll see the background, and you could be like, I know that stage. I hope you do that, because that's what I did. But yeah, I was like, oh, I know this one. And yeah, then they start fighting, and it's really, really, really choreographed well. I can't get that out of the way enough. They really stepped it up here. Speaking of stepping it up, you may have heard Kung Lao fights Liu Kang in this movie. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I will say yes. Even though I don't really care about either of them as characters, which is a shame because they are two of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, but I don't care about them in this movie because, the movie didn't make me care. When they fight, oh man, it is the best. I know it's not a lot to say, but it's the best live action Mortal Kombat fight I think I've ever seen. No, correct that. It is the best Mortal Kombat live action fight that I have ever seen. If you're a fan, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to be saying, wow, Oh, and oh my gosh, a lot during this movie. They got the fatalities and the moves down pat. Now, I will end with this. The movie, obviously, it ends in a way that leaves it open for, another sequel. I hope that the creators don't just take their laurels and just, try to recreate this. If we can get a movie where they give us some backstory, like show exactly how much Sonya hates Kano, show if there's some chemistry between Sonya and Johnny. Give us a little bit more about Liu Kang and what he went through to get here, his Shaolin training. Like, if we get more from them, this has the potential to be one of the greatest video game franchises. Like, Mortal Kombat story, I'm just going to say it. It is the best story there is. I used to think it was Tekken, but no. Mortal Kombat, when it comes to fighting games, it lends itself to being a massive multimedia franchise. Like, the lore is all there and it's all incredible, man. So I really hope that this is a sign for a good future. Like I said, this is a 3 out of 5. You don't need to see it in IMAX. Would you be mad if you waited for it to come to streaming? No, I think it lends itself to streaming fine. But if you're a fan and you want to go see it in the movie theaters, I wouldn't stop you. So that's it. Now, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me rant through this. But tell me, who is your favorite Mortal Kombat character? Who do you use in battle, and who do you hate fighting the most? I'll tell you mine. My first Mortal Kombat game was Mortal Kombat 4 for the N64. So I love Tanya. Like, she is my girl. But I usually main Sonya just because I know she's going to be on every game's roster. So that's my main. And I think I said it. I hate fighting Sindel. Like, I know I hate her. I hate her so much. All right, people. I appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out.